What up, guys? I'm back. Happy New Year. 2026 is here. And actually, statistics are saying that January 17th, most people have already failed their goals for the year that they've set. So, hopefully you guys are on a good start. I got a special guest for you guys today. We're going to dive into a couple different things and learn a little bit about Corey's background and a little bit what it's like to be an entrepreneur out of New Jersey.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for spending time with us today, Corey.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
And are you a native out of New Jersey?
Yes, I'm a native of New Jersey. I was born and raised here. Um, yeah, I lived here basically all my life except for childhood. I moved away. And then, yeah, I'm a native here. I go back between here and Florida to get some sunshine, but all
What's the
New
drive
Jersey.
like? What's the drive time from where you're at to Florida?
I don't drive. I hop on the plane. I won't do
Oh,
that. Oh, but I
I
have done
should
it
have
one time.
should have
It
known
was like
that.
18 hours. I did it with my kids. It was an 18-hour drive. Yeah.
I say that probably because I'm California and everything is like we just drive nearby, and I really don't go get out too often, being a mom of three. So I should have thought flying.
Yeah.
Um,
2-hour flight there and back.
New Jersey, New York. You're in that territorial area,
Yeah.
right?
New
Okay.
York is like 30 minutes from me, give or take,
Okay.
but that's without traffic, but it's always traffic.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you at the Pressure Media News launch party out at the MJ BizCon week, I should say, because it was a week full of different type of events. Did you activate at MJ Biz this year?
No, no, I was just out there doing connections and making appearances. I was out there supporting the Pressure News event that we was
Mhm.
at in Thunder Walker, and me and Krista, we was promoting. We're partners with a company called Canna Lady Farm, so we was out there building connections with that.
Shout out.
Just promoting my company. It's about my fourth year going out there.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Shout out to the THC girls, highly connected up, Krista and her team.
Yeah.
They do a really good job about bringing, really cool people together. That's why I was really happy to
Hmm.
meet you. And um, being from Cali, we're very familiar with the people out here, but that's what I think for me personally, MJ Biz is so international that you get to meet people from all over. And I try to do like okay, I got to go back home with at least two new people that I had no idea about in states that I don't know shit about. So I'm going to dig your brain, pick your brain today and dig into everything you got going out in the East Coast. Cause I'm diehard West Coast. I've never traveled that way. I always tell Krista, I'm going to make it to Florida one of these days because I feel like Florida is kind of picking up as far as cannabis.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the next big business in the industry as far as one of the new states because you think about Florida, the tourism and everything. So that's why Florida, I think they're really going through like the long legal part of it. It's medical dispensaries down there. They're all over,
Oh, that's
but
right. Yeah.
and it's easy to get your medical card, but of course the state is making the most money off that. So they're before they go recreational, they're trying to figure it out and make their money and but it's coming. But that's going to be a big market for recreational adult use retailers soon, I think.
Yeah, it's a fluid market in Florida all the way up and down, I would say. So I could see that happening. And, I think seniors are very aware of cannabis. And, I know a couple nurses in the space who have made their rounds going to senior homes to educate them about the plant. And so I know Florida is like a retiring state, so I always say that like it's
Hmm.
probably going to be a pretty good market, I would say. And when you say medical card, I know here in California it'd be like just go to Joe Schmo, he's a doctor, just tell him your back hurts, boom,
Yeah,
we get a card. Is it the
that's
same?
basically what's going on down there
Okay.
now. Yeah,
I had to ask
and
because
the hemp market is big down there. So it's like regular smoke shops are just selling the hemp.
yeah. Yeah, that's what Lady Farms got going on, right? Hemp.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
right before that hemp ban, that's what we were doing a partnership with Canna Lady Farms, me and Krista and a few other people, and we're gonna try to build up that market. But we got to see how this hemp ban is going and see how
Well,
that works out.
it's not in motion, right? So it's like keep pushing as normal. I think from what I'm seeing in our space, and even talking to like people who own payment services and financial services, that they're just like, let's just do business as is, because until it's actually like fully implemented, then we don't, let's not make any changes right now, because obviously this space seems to be a bit of a roller coaster, because they dropped that, and then what was it, just this month that they dropped, hey, we're going to go ahead and just reschedule this. So
Mhm.
I feel a little bit like a ping pong ball being, pushed around, and I'm sure we'll dive into that with your backstory and your entrepreneur journey. Well, again, we appreciate you sharing some time with us here. I'm going to ask you a couple questions on the personal side before we dive into everything that you've built in and out of the cannabis space. So I usually like to ask, I'm sure you saw in my form, a little bit about your personal development, kind of your mindset as an entrepreneur, and then how much wellness is involved in that. Because I feel, for me, I've immersed myself in learning from all types of different entrepreneurs. And the one thing that they all have in common is having some sort of discipline, whether that's, being into weightlifting, running, whatever the case may be, there's some sort of wellness to that. So tell us a little bit about Corey, kind of your background, of who you are, and then we'll dive into what you've built.
Well, I'm Corey. I'm from North New Jersey. My background, I've been in the cannabis market on the black market phase since probably 1998
Ooh,
as a teenager.
okay.
Um, I played basketball. I was a up and coming basketball person, middle school, early high school, but I got caught up in the wrong crowd. Cannabis, smoking, got distracted. Whatever, made some mistakes. So fast forward to a couple of years, once I became an adult, I stayed in the cannabis market, early adult, got my first job. But mind you, I always hustled cannabis, smoked cannabis, got my first job, was stopped doing with the illegal stuff. And then people at my job, I was the youngest person in my job. I worked on a printing press, making
Okay. T-shirts.
perfume samples that you guys see in the magazines. I made that.
There
I
you go.
was learning that. I was the youngest person there. I was making good money. I didn't have to sell legal marijuana. And the older guys around me was like, hey kid, can you get me such and such, such and such? I'm like, all right, yeah, I could get it. And then before I knew it, it was like it was it was big business. Like, and this was just at my job. So then I had a friend that he was big into the cannabis then, and we used to take trips to California just to hang out and stuff like that. And you guys had the illegal smoke shops out there before they ever even was thought about. So he was like, "Hey, let's do this." And I had my job. I was like, "Nah, I'm not doing that, this and that." So he went ahead and did it. And I started working at the store part time for him, but I had my job. I'm selling illegal cannabis, but then the store was like booming. It was nothing like that on the East Coast, especially in our town. And then before you know it, we had about 3 stores. And I uh, I got caught with some illegal marijuana, lost my job. Because this is when marijuana was serious over here, and I got more serious in the cannabis industry, and now I'm opening up my first dispensary here, and been through it all from the black market to the legal market here in New Jersey. Yeah.
That's exciting. Congratulations. Do you have a date already on like a ribbon cutting?
No, I'm hoping late March.
Okay.
This
Okay.
week
Well,
makes 4 years that I have been working on this. Like
oof.
um, some people like Raekwon, which he had a location about 3 blocks from me. Raekwon and
Hmm.
it's a radio personality over here, Charlemagne, the guy, and a few other
Hmm.
people. They had a big one, couple blocks from my
Charlemagne,
location.
like from Breakfast Club?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
their location was probably about 3 or 4 blocks from me. Took them
Oh,
3 years.
wow.
And I don't
Okay.
have as much money as those guys, not even with close.
I was like, is that the level you're on, Corey?
No. So the fact that I'm hitting 4 years, and it's very political when you're going about your license here and
I
stuff like
bet.
that. So it's in the build out phase right now. We're probably about 60% done. So
Mhm.
targeting late March 2026.
That's exciting. That's exciting. We'll be here to support it and let everybody know, to make sure if they are in that area, to make sure they stop by and check out what you got going on.
It's going to be a 3-floor dispensary. It's going to come with a lounge. We're going to do podcasts like what you're doing. So maybe you might come and be like a
Oh,
podcast
I would
guest
love
there eventually.
that.
Like, and welcome you to the East Coast. It's going to be like it's going to be a community dispensary, and for others that has shows going on, other entrepreneurs and podcast people, or people that just want to throw events there. It's gonna be a cool place.
Wow, 3 stories. I know we're supposed to jump into what you built later, but you're already talking about 3
Sorry.
stories. It got me excited. 3 stories, I think that's amazing. Is it, so out here we have, I don't know if they're doing them anymore. I don't think they're doing them anymore, but vertical license to where you're able to also grow and sell and have a lounge there and do all of that there, or is that set a little different, similar to that?
Yeah, same thing. It's a vertical license. As long as you have a retail license, you have to still apply to add on those other licenses onto your retail license here in New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that getting your license is one thing, and then getting all like your permits, and then even getting a spot that is worth leasing. I'm in the chamber, and I saw that you're also part of the Cannabis Chamber of Commerce. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's an amazing network because you just get to meet so many people, especially if you're dealing with licensing. There's an amazing network of attorneys in there that can help, move things around. But with that said, is there, like, out here, there's a couple of my buddies that got approved for licensing, and then the state, or excuse me, the city decided to pull all the license, and he already got the spot. He already got, it's like it was just a matter of just putting the furniture in and getting the green light to open doors, to my understanding. And then Riverside County decided to pull some of the license. And I'm like, that is such a dagger. I mean, those are the things that, as dispensary owners, you guys have to deal with when you guys are looking to expand. Now, you said you're going off into, this is your first actual retail store, but you've had other stores before.
Yeah, I had smoke shops before, so
Oh, smoke
I'm
shops,
used
like,
to
where you sell glass,
glass, smokes,
tobacco.
accessories.
Yeah,
Yeah, almost like
yeah.
it was like your neighborhood bodegas mixed with a
Yeah,
smoke
yeah.
shop.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
all know that if you've been fucking with weed as long as we have.
right.
Um, okay, yeah. I mean, I still go to those shops because I personally am I'm a water bong like girl, so I have tons of these. Obviously, becoming a mom, I've slowed down on the bongs, and now I have this little
Right.
cute little hash device. But yeah, I got a girlfriend out here that has a couple shops. Is it the same as far as the legalities? Not really, because you're not pushing anything that's illegal. Is that kind of how the
Right.
smoke shop works, right? So it's just like
Hmm.
typical retail. You guys could do business as normal, where cannabis shops don't have that same
Right.
privilege, I should say.
Right. Yeah, like
Okay.
in the smoke shops and slash bodega, it was basically like soap candy, chips, toilet paper, house and accessories,
You
a
could
little
sell
bit of
all that
everything.
in the same store that you're selling smoke pieces. Wow.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
But you
very.
can't have that. You can't do that when you're in the dispensary. You can't even sell a bottle of water in the dispensary here. So,
Right. No, that's why I'm like, wow, that's crazy, because I think it goes the same thing with, like you said, water. Out here in the LA area, I don't know if you've been to like the Woods or any of the smoke lounges that have developed. It took them a while to even be able to serve like just regular coffee and drinks, because something about having a license and then not being able to serve just regular drinks like coffee, I would say. And then even if you wanted to expand to where like you had space to want to do a lounge where you're selling alcohol or maybe spritzers, that was a whole thing. So
Right.
it's very interesting to me as a bit, as you know, just from on the outside of what you guys have to deal with and all the red line and all the red tapes that you guys have to kind of work around to even to get your dream going, I should say. So, you know, my
Mhm.
hat goes out to you guys. You guys do a lot of hard work. And I always say, if you really, really love it, you're just gonna have to stick, you know, you just kind of pivot and kind of move around and move with the motion.
I feel like that's where it all originated from, from the
Yeah.
beginning. Like if you really loved it and you really like smoking the plant, like I remember days when I got caught by my mom and I was like, "Oh, jump," and she could smell it all through the house, and I thought like I sprayed enough. And it's like, "I'm telling you, I'm kicking you out. I smell it one more time," like So, but you kept doing it. You just did it different ways, and
Yep.
that's where it's set right now. Even though it's legal, you still gotta push the needle or find different ways to do it in a more respectful way.
Yeah. Do you feel that the black market is still very relevant, being that they're kind of pushing back and forth, that it's discouraged people to be in a legal market? I mean, I still have plugs, to be completely honest. So,
Yeah, I feel like
but
with
I'm
the
California.
legalization, the black market actually got saturated, because now everybody think that they can do it.
True.
I remember when
I
people
never even
really,
thought about it
everybody
that way.
wasn't selling cannabis. Like you had to know somebody to know somebody, or it's like, yeah, like, hey, who has some good stuff? Like, anybody got some weed? Like it was
Yeah.
like almost like a secret. Now it's like everybody has smoke, and
Everybody's growing it too. I feel too, like
yeah,
with,
so it's
especially
just
with moms.
oversaturated. Everybody wants to be a cannabis dealer now. So
Yeah, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. And I too have gone through some interesting times with they would say donating flour to people. It would be funny. One time I went to
right,
this really, really dinky ass shop, and they made me buy paintings for the exchange of the donation of flowers. I'm like, is this what we're doing now? This is
right,
when they were like popping, you know, the shops 6 months. Because I think, to my understanding, you can get like a temporary license to open like for a very short period of time before they actually check on everything. And so
yeah,
they would
yeah,
just keep like open up for 6 months. And then you wonder why they're so janky. Like you walk in and there's like nothing really in the front. There's like one
mhm,
little like plastic chair. And I
yeah,
couldn't find out. And I had a homie who had like a TV, like lounge vibes. And I'm like, why? What's the difference? He's like, because when they're on temporary licenses, they just flip them. Like it gives them time to just like flip and go. And they don't want to have to hassle with having like nice shit get taken away. Cause once they're in, they just
yeah,
take everything.
yeah.
So
You rather just have your 6 month run and on to the next one.
yeah, yeah. I feel like, I don't know, you still have to pay for that. So eventually you're just like in a hamster wheel of wasting money,
Right.
you know, at the end. So let's talk about a little bit about your background in like your parent as well. I am a parent of three beautiful children, and I think you said you're a parent of three as well. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. You have a 21-year-old? I'm always amazed because you look
Yeah.
so young.
Yeah. My
Well, you
son.
know what? I don't even know why I say that. I have a stepson that just is about to turn 20. I just, yeah, I don't feel old, you know?
Sometimes I look at him and I be like, it hits me. I'm like, holy shit, I got a 21-year-old. Like I still look at him like, he's in college now, but he stays at home back and forth, and I still like I can't believe it. Sometimes it hits me like I
Yeah.
can't believe I have a 21-year-old. But yeah,
Yeah, I always say it's in our kids that we see how much time flies. Right now, my babies, all of mine are 7. I have a 7, 5-year-old, and an 8-month-year-old, and so you know, I'm sure different stages. The yours are all in the teens. Are they aware of what you're doing in the space?
yeah, they are. My 21 and 17-year-old, they was around it a lot. I tried to hide it from them a lot when they was kids, and I'm like, Daddy has to work, or Daddy's doing work. And then, of course, as they got older, they're not stupid. They have phones, this and that. So I actually set them down. Like, look. this is what dad's doing. My 13-year-old, she was real smart with it too, but I explained to her later. Or she kind of just grew up just already knowing about it, so it was easier with her. But
Mhm.
my son, it was real difficult at first because he always looked at it as something illegal. So
Yeah.
and
You
I'm
said
split
illegal?
illegal, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm split from my two oldest parent. So I'm with my wife, who I have one with my youngest.
Mhm.
She kind of looked at what I was doing as illegal, and he heard arguments that he shouldn't have, like, oh, you're a drug dealer, this and that. So he had different mindset to it. So I'm trying to explain to him, and they know it now. So he's going to school for business now. So the key to it is I'm get all this business done and get it organized, and he's supposed to take over if
That's
need
right.
be. And he has the business degrees, and that's what we all got planned.
That's awesome. I always say, that it wasn't until I became a parent that I realized that everything that I do in life and my purpose is because of them. And everything I do now is because you want to leave something for them. You want their life to be easier than your own. And hopefully all the hard work that we're doing, to do what we do in a stage where I always tell people it's like, prohibition time. Alcohol kind of went through the same thing, and people that were still about it did what they had to do, make their moonshine and still
Right.
do that whole thing. So I feel like we're part of history. I save all of my like little things that I get from events, and I'm making this like crazy scrapbook in hopes that my child sees everything that we've done. And so even though you guys, had that difference, I'm sure that your children will eventually be, really happy of everything that you've built, because I know it's for them at the end of the day.
And you want to just explain to like the youth how to properly consume. Like my son's 21. Um,
My God,
when I
yes.
when I first had like a long talk with him probably when he was about 18, 19, I was like, look, I'm not saying it's okay for you to smoke, but if you do smoke, come talk to me first. Like, you know what we do, you know what the family business is. And he had got with his first girlfriend, and
Mhm.
then I found out he was smoking with the girlfriend and her parents. So I was pissed when I found that out. And the girlfriend dad is the one that told me, and I was like, what?
Were you guys smoking? Is that how you found out?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
They were going to the prom together, so it was his first
Oh,
time
that's
coming.
cute.
It was one of the first times, and he was like, "So what do you do for a living?" So I was telling him like, "I'm opening a dispensary or whatever." And he was like,
Fun
"Oh
conversation.
yeah." He was like, if someone was telling me when we were smoking one day," and I was like, "What?" Like I didn't want to ruin the moment, but I was mad, and
Yeah,
but
I
I
bet.
had a long talk with my son. I was like, can't just go smoke with anybody because you don't know what people might put in their stuff also.
Gosh.
Like,
Today, right? I never thought I would be, honestly, if we've been smoking weed. If I went to a concert, I would, if it came left, right, it didn't matter. If somebody passed me a blunt, I just
right,
smoked it.
right,
Today, I think twice. Like, I
yeah.
really think twice of who's passing it, where I'm at, what environment we're in.
You gotta look at the person, like
Yeah, like clearly look at the person who's handing it to you. Um, just for that fact, and then all the lace shit that's out there, and you just
yeah,
don't know. And I'm not just talking, we're extra stuff that's in it, or even the bunkweed synthetic shit that's out there. It's just scary. And as a parent, it's never been so relevant to me till now. I mean, obviously my kids are far from that, but yeah, I can
yeah.
imagine you having that talk with him, but at least you cross that bridge, and I'm sure he knows now.
I couldn't believe I was actually having that talk because, like, when I was brought up, I had to hide it from my parents. But we're in a new stage of life, like a new world. So it's like we gotta prepare them, and by the time the youngest ones get up there, they're probably gonna be the cannabis is gonna be in this vending machines, certain places. Like
Yeah,
it's gonna be even easier to get. So
yeah, boy, I'm looking at some vending machines. You can make some good money out of that. I don't know
yeah,
if you follow Cody Sanchez. She's an entrepreneur. She's into buying businesses, and she breaks down like you can make pretty good passive income with owning a couple of vending machines. Even those ones that like the kids like, that I feel like is a scam. It's like a little claw. But
hmm
yeah, I do see weed being in vending machines, especially like in high like high-end hotels. You know, they sell a little, you know, have your wine in your little refrigerator.
Supposedly their licenses coming with just like that, like where you like you have
Yeah.
to be a dispensary owner, you have to have a retail location, and then you could have like they call it almost like a pop-up license, and you could put it eventually that's supposed to be coming. So we'll see.
Well, I've got a buddy that is in the winery business, but they've also launched a THC beverage. And then recently they just launched a functional mushroom beverage. And their drinks are going to be in hotels. And when, you know, he's told me that, I'm like, okay, so you can tell the wine market too is very much aligned with the cannabis because of the terps, even the connoisseur, kind of how they, like break down how I would say like evaluate their wine is almost the same as cannabis.
All right. All right.
Yeah. You guys have a lot
I
of
think
wine
that's
out there?
where like the East Coast are starting to. It's a few consumption lounges that's coming here, and eventually, I think, eventually, with the laws start really getting their stuff together, I think only consumption lounges should sell like the THC drinks, or that might be a big
Yeah, it only makes sense.
like
Well, yeah, I mean, you think, okay, you figure like if I'm just going to speak from my experience, I go to a cannabis lounge that did not serve any food or any water or any beverages. All you could do is buy your weed and smoke it in a cool spot. That's really cool. But for somebody who's been smoking weed for a long time, I could do that anywhere. I
yeah.
want to go experience the same thing, but let me sit there and let me order food. Let me light up something. This other place I went to gave me the same experience, but they had a full menu of food. You could also rent devices at the same time and smoke and eat in the same place. That's the whole idea. But when it's all separated and you can't do this and can't do that, it just takes away from the entire experience. So like you said, lounges, I think that's what the drinks are going to pop in. I don't know if you see my Stunning glass. Do you know what the Stunning glass is back here?
No, what is that?
So this one is that one is the Dr. Green Thumb special edition, but do you remember what a gravity bong is?
No.
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 Okay.
I've never
It's
been a
really
bong person. I'm just a.
okay. I'm really aging myself and really
Well, I
letting you
do
know.
sell bongs, so I got a lot of bongs in my store. So, but I
It's
never.
I'm from California, born and raised here, and you know that's we smoke that shit all day long. But back in the day, like in high school, we would cut a 2 liter like soda bottle or even a milk gallon in half, and you just put it in a bucket and you drop it down and you inhale the smoke. Yeah, you like plunge in, then it like builds up all the smoke in there, and then you just inhale it from there. The things that we used to do.
Wow.
But that's the new version of it. And it just like it's almost like a hookah type of
Got
thing.
it.
So it burns a lot of weed, but for experience wise, it's really neat because the spout comes off, and like for parties, you can just flip it up and down and it just kind of like spews smoke to where you can hit it with no mouth connection.
That's the
So
type of thing that should be in the lounges, like
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, you know, I want to be able to eat and smoke at the same, well, not eat and smoke, but yeah, order your food and not just go smoke and that's it. That's all you get
yeah.
because we all just do that. So
Because
I'm
here you could bring in your food, you have Uber Eats delivered to you, but like, how is the establishment making money off that?
well, you know what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
So
I
we
think
got to
this
clean it up. It can't stay like that.
Yeah, no, I think this particular spot, they partnered with there was like a restaurant either downstairs or right next door. So I guess that made sense for them. But for you having a 3-level dispensary, that's like sky's the limit. You
That's
could,
the
you know,
idea
this
that
is
I'm
a
doing.
dream
I
come
kind of might do
true.
some deals with local restaurants.
You know,
Wow.
it'd be dope. Just bring a little Amsterdam in there. I don't know if New Jersey's that vibe, but you know, a little coffee shop. My friend out here has a shop. I feel, you know, he's got an amazing area. And sadly, we're in a county that just does not understand weed. So he still isn't allowed to have consumption. He has a consumption lounge dispensary, but we're not allowed to consume. is crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. So what he did was convert that space into a coffee area. So even if you go in and pick up your herb or whatever, you can still kind of be there to be in a we space vibe and get your coffee, but you can't consume in it, which again extracts, like the experience of being able to do what we do in that type of environment. So
Right.
hopefully you have all types of different things to do in your 3-story floor. A lot of people like the grow ops, being able to see. There's a shop out here where you walk in and there's a little window to grow. I don't know, it's a grow room basically, but it's always at the stage of them just about to bud. The colas are fairly mid-size. And people love that shit, just being able to see like the raw plants. So yeah, I think you're gonna have fun with that. Have you already have like a design and all of that?
Um, far as coloring, no. Well, my first floor is gonna be all purple and white, but my lounge I wanted to be
Ooh,
neutral colors because sometimes there's gonna be events going on that's not based off of cannabis or people
smart.
host private events. Like we're gonna be renting it out to private events. Like it's gonna be a lot going on. So I'm gonna have neutral colors upstairs.
I love that. I'm a big Laker fan, so I like the purple and white.
Yeah, yeah. I have it on
um,
one of my files. I'll send it to you. It'd be hard to show it on here, but it's pretty cool. The front of the dispensary, as you're walking in from the street, is going to be an art gallery for local
oh, that's
upcoming artists
beautiful.
and community. So
Oh, I love that. I
yeah,
love that. I get that sense from you from reading your background and just kind of, PIing, creeping on your page. Not that you have a lot on Instagram. I will say that. I'm like, I probably don't show too much on here.
yeah,
But I will say that I noticed that you are very involved in the community. I've seen a couple pictures of you with mayor, council members.
yeah.
Before we jump into that and we go too far, I do want to ask you a little bit about kind of your experience with what you shared earlier as far as getting through cancer, because you are in a plant medicine space. And I think that a lot of people are in this space for more recreational. I mean, I'm sure there's people in this space that it was medicinal that got in here, but for me, mainly recreational. For you, I feel like it's got a different backstory to it. Can you share a little bit about that experience for you and kind of what that was like for you, whether you were already involved with cannabis as an entrepreneur or if it was just something recreational for you? It seems like cannabis has been part of your life for a long time. So kind of tell us like how that all was full circle for you.
I always been involved in as an entrepreneur, but and smoking recreational, but I always took breaks, for about 3 or 4 years, just to give my body that refresh. So at the time when I was in this break, I had moved to Florida for a couple of years, and I had just got married, but I was in shape. I feel like I was like the best shape of my adult life at this time, and I think I was from like 36 to 38. And then I was playing basketball in the gym, LA Fitness, and last thing I remember, like I was walking back on the court and I collapsed, and I woke up. The paramedics had me, and they was like, "Do you know what happened?" And I thought somebody hit me with an elbow. They was like, "No,
Mm.
we think you had a heart attack or a stroke. We're taking you to the hospital." Like they basically brought me back. My eyes rolled back in my head. This was 2019. So I was in the hospital for about a week. They no heart attack, no stroke, passed the stress test. It's like we don't know why your body shut down. Um, so they let me go. There's like, unfortunately, like this gotta happen again, and we gotta find out what's happening. But they're sending me to cardiologists and everything. But now here and there, I was urinating blood. So finally, go back. They send me to urologists, and they did the test, and they found about 3 tumors on my bladder.
Oh my God.
Mind you, I wasn't smoking. This was doing when I was like on my fitness stuff, playing basketball and just staying in shape. So then I had about 3 surgeries, had to do therapy. My body rejected the chemo. I did chemo one time, gave me an infection. I was in pain. My wife had to rush me to the hospital. They had to flush it out of me.
Oh
So
my
then
God.
they gave me this treatment called BCG treatment. So it's like a germ that kills the tumors in you, but it basically makes you feel like you have the flu. I had to do that for about 15 weeks. And mentally it messed me up. Like, I was my kids was younger than I thought I was gonna. It was stage one, but to me it was like I thought I was dying. So I'm talking to my kids like I'm passing away. Like it really had me depressed. So being
Mhm.
that, I was taking this special treatment, the BCG treatment, and the urologist he prescribed me with a medical card down in Florida, and that cannabis at the time, mind you, now this is 2020, it was harsh. So I was like, I can't. That's burning my throat. It's making me feel worse. And he was like, you know where to get any this regular weed from? He don't know what I did, but I was like, sure I do. I'm smoking then. So he's like, yeah, just try to smoke some regular weed. Your body is real sensitive right now. There's a lot going on. So I started back smoking here and there. Um, next test that I had went from three tumors that kept coming back down to about one. Like, so he was like, hey, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Well, of course, I had changed my diet too, but I had been already changed my diet. Started eating more grapes and strawberries. But the only thing difference I was doing was smoking cannabis. Besides,
Okay.
like the medication that they had me doing. So um, the next test, which was I was going every quarter, then came back like he doesn't see no more tumors. Like so this April I will be 4 years clean, cancer free. Like and then instead of going once a year, twice a year, I go once a year for tests. Like that's big when you're a cancer person. But I feel
Mhm.
like it actually helped me. So um,
Amen.
that's why
Amen.
now I'm smoking and it helps. And with the pain and just everything about life. So it's a
Yeah,
big
well, I'm glad you're still here and you're
story.
in good spirits.
I had a cousin that I was doing real bad, and he called me, and he was like, "You're gonna get past this, and like, it's a reason why you're going through this. But once you
Mhm.
get past this, like, don't waste no time." And it actually
Mhm.
gave me more energy now. Like just like how you said, like I'm not wasting no time because any day it could just be taken away. So like, you got a dream, go for it, and
Yeah.
shoot for the stars. If you fail, you fail, but at least you can say
Yeah.
you tried
Amen. Yeah, I
before
would
you
say
regret it. You know?
I don't wanna be 80 thinking like, "I wish I did," or "I wish I could," or "What if I did this?" So, yeah, I totally agree with you. Um, you had mentioned that during that time you were on your fitness and you were playing basketball. Did you play basketball like in college? Like, that was your jam, or was this just for
No,
fun?
I played basketball high school,
Okay.
middle school. High school, I was getting there. I was getting recruited probably as a freshman,
Oh,
sophomore.
nice. Okay.
Um, by different high schools. At that time, high schools was recruiting me like, "Hey, come here," like how kind of it is in the college field now. But like I messed up, got involved with cannabis in the wrong crowd, and messed up. So now that's why I'm involved in basketball right now, and I always just stayed around it. And once I got past that phase, I always wanted to be like a business manager in sports or basketball and kind of talk to the youth and be that type person, kind of guide them from the mistakes that I made. But now that I'm in the cannabis field, it's like now try to kind of convert that over into like, talk to the youth and explain to them about the rights and wrongs, but still
Yeah.
talk to them about cannabis and the cannabis industry because that's it's going to be a different field. Like these kids could actually go to school and take it to another level, and who knows where it's going to be in the next 5 to 10 years for them.
Yeah. I mean, out here already, the universities are literally, they have a whole, I don't know, I didn't go to college. So what would you call it? Like a whole department that's like just dedicated to cannabis.
Yeah,
And I too do believe that the people that are in our space, so that are like the OGs in this space, have a duty to reach out to those universities to really guide them because if they're just like got Mr. Joe Schmo who's like, oh, I guess, and still has kind of the side eye to it, then the kids are not going to really learn the proper understanding of this plant. There's just really so many different things, there's variables to this plant. And then now you add in the business side of things. So yeah, you may be business savvy, but then you have like the culture side of this space. That's a whole different game. So
Right. Right.
I think we have a duty to get in there, and anytime they have universities have like a career day, or anytime maybe your kids in a class to where they can have an entrepreneur who's a dispensary owner come speak and kind of just drop some information on how to guide themselves as to what they want to do in this space, because it's like sky's the limits now. It's from like banking all the way down to farming to manufacturing. Like pick what you're into.
Right.
So yeah, no, I see it really evolving, and our youth, I feel like, they're not as heady as we are, where we're just like, we've been smoking weed. So that's we're embedded in the culture. These kids, I think, will have more of a business mindset to it and really want to like expand, like when you said, like, who knows what they're gonna do with what we've leave behind for them as far as
Yeah.
what we worked for.
Yeah. Like here in New Jersey, they're already considering passing like an interstate commerce law where legalized states might can actually ship cannabis from one another. Like if you're a licensed cultivator, that's coming. That's going to
Yeah.
take the cannabis industry to past a multi-billion-dollar industry, if you want to call it. Like that's going to be big, and that's being considered. They're coming out with task force to go after the illegal black market dealers and consumers. So it's like how you mentioned about prohibition earlier. Cannabis, it's going to come, and it's going to be big business, and the next generation they're gonna profit off it more than us, and it's gonna be different.
Yeah, it concerns me for my dear friends in the NorCal area that have lived through so much and have been, their entire family, it's like generations of farm after farm, and have gone through shit, because they've even talked about big, we'll just say big pharma or any big monies coming after even their genetics, and trying to spin that some type of way. And we all know it takes a lot of love and care to grow some really, really good flowers. So, I mean, they can try all they want, but yeah, they have a lot of stuff against them, I should say, that they have to deal with. And I think for them right now, it's at the point where they really got to think as far as like, does this make sense to still be in it? The Farm Bill really threw people off. I don't know if that's the same for you guys in the East Coast.
Yeah, that kind of threw people off. But I would say to like the people that's thinking about, as far as the black market people, that lives might change and they convert over to the legal market. Don't let them push you out the door like that. Like this was built by people like us before us and converted over. They want you to give up and think it's not for you.
Yeah,
like
I like
and
that.
give up. That's why, like, even though my place is taking 4 years, like I've been through a lot through that 4 years, and I feel like a lot of it was like, all right, oh, you're still there? Yep, I'm still here. Like, if you could connect with those partners and people that's like you, and people could put their money together, like, don't let them force you out. Like, take that hustle to the business side, because those people on the business side, they don't have the hustle as the black market people.
Got to know how to play your cards. That's why I think a lot of entrepreneurs who are successful will also say it's like a game of chess, which I've yet to learn to play. But yeah, I think it trickles down to that, and just being kind of stern in what your worth is, and knowing, I know exactly what I'm doing and what I need, and not taking money from the wrong people, because I think that's where,
if your family did it for so long, and like generations down the line, you can run a very profitable legal business.
yeah,
Like, take that same hustle and grind and do it legally, and just
outsmart them.
Yeah,
I gotta play the game.
right. I'll hustle.
Yeah, exactly. If you got it in you, you got it in you.
Yeah.
And I think you got it in you. You also are coaching basketball. And that's what I wanted to get to as far as you being very involved with community and youth. I love that. I have always tried to give back in some way. This was prior to me having kids. I used to go to, God, I think it was like Red Eye Center out in LA area and even did like things for Skid Row. But that was an opportunity for me to get in front of kids in all different communities. And because I was still in the cannabis space, it was such an easy way to have conversation with the adults in that space about this plant. Is that the same thing for you as being a coach? Are parents asking you about like, where do they get this and what about this and that, or is it
Yeah.
even a conversation?
Yeah, it's a conversation. I coach girls travel basketball. It's like,
Oh,
so we go away every couple of weekends, and like, it gets crazy on the road, and parents are hanging out, drinking, and getting to know each other. Then it comes up like, oh, you
yeah.
own a dispensary, or one parent tell you something, but it's a fun experience because you never realize who actually is a cannabis user, who might want to try it. Um, and I enjoy it. Like, especially that now I'm a dispensary owner. Sometimes I get samples from a lot of different people that want me to do like, wholesale agreements with them. So I have a lot of free stuff. So I'm like, hey, try it,
Yeah.
this and that. It'll just get people in the community. It's cool just being around a different class of different people that want to know about the cannabis market and industry.
If you're doing girls travel basketball, I'm guessing these are a lot of moms.
It's moms and dads. Moms and
Oh,
dads.
okay, okay. Shout out
We
to the
actually
dads
have, we
that
actually
show up
have
for
a
their
we
daughters.
actually have like a whole parent group. Like the dads are on the group chat and the moms are on the group chat, and it's cool. It's like almost like having another family. So it's
Oh,
actually
I
cool.
bet. I love that. Yeah, no, I say that because us moms have no shame in our game when it comes to us being present moms and us being canna moms. There's a big, some people don't know about the word, but canna mom does exist. Even on LinkedIn, there's many of us women that have been, weed has been part of our life for a really long time. And then we became moms, and it's still part of our lives. And when you said there's like a lot of moms that are drinking and they get kind of loosey goosey about things, have you ever considered, like, have they considered the difference of like how much healthier cannabis is versus alcohol, to where they're like, you know what, I kind of rather go this route? Has that conversation came up yet?
Yeah.
I
A
bet.
lot of them will rather say smoke, but it still has that stigma. Like, we're away, we had a travel basketball game at the hotel. So a lot of people are
Mm.
still scared of just having that smoke smell on them. So of course people would rather drink. Um,
Mhm.
but sometimes that's when, like, people would rather do the THC pens and stuff like that. And they're like, hey, yeah, I could roll with this, doesn't lead to smoke. And like, and
we
they
we gotta
didn't know
let
about that.
We got to
Those
let them
people
know
didn't
about
know
little
about that.
devices like this that is a vaporizer, and it, gets rid of
Yeah,
the
stuff
smell,
like that.
dissipates. It's a puffco, it's a proxy, it's a hash pipe. But yeah, it's exactly that. It's to the point where we're moms and we're traveling and we're going to take kids out to like Disneyland and shit, and I can't smoke a joint or a blunt because that stinks up
Hmm.
everything. So we gotta find different ways to consume if this is your thing. And for me, I'm into fitness and into weed. Those two things are my jam. I've never really been an alcohol drinker. So I've always tried to find ways to smoke. And since I've become a mom, hash has just been the most that's not it's just more convenient right now. So I think eventually, I think New Jersey will get to that point and start getting all these amazing devices we have here in California. But even gummies and the drinks, I think I would have never said this like 10 years ago. I would have never said this, but I actually enjoy them. And it doesn't hit the same, but it does its job. Like I went to
Right.
Disneyland and I think I brought like hash gummies, and those were perfect, 10 milligrams, nothing crazy, because
Right.
that magnifies tremendously through our kidney or our livers. So we got to be easy with the edibles. But I think moms are considering that more and more. It's not like just Cali sober. It's just like everybody jumping on the wagon of wanting to be a little bit more clear minded and more present in whatever it is that they're doing. I just like,
Right.
it's like kind of worldwide now spreading as far as having a clearer mind. And I feel like our generation has really pushed the envelope with that.
Right. And then some people, like the average, like those moms and dads, they don't know how to properly consume. Like they might,
Mhm.
some of them like, oh, it's like almost like liquor and alcohol. Like, you might want to have a drink early in the day, but you're not gonna go drink something hard.
Yeah.
Some consumers, they don't know about that yet. Like, and that's how when we're hanging out, like I'm telling them, like, no, something like this is mellow, then something like this is later when you want to just like really be laid back. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I always say it's going to be in the education. It's the best way to have conversation with people that are not in this space without coming off as like as if you're pushing weed. Some people still don't want it, and some people don't even like the smell of it, which is really
Mhm.
interesting to me. But giving them the other options, like you said, like teaching them about different terps, like understanding that if you're a runner, CBG or CBN for sleep. Not everything has to be like heavy THC, which
Mhm.
we're slowly learning now. But yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for you to open the door and give education in an organic way to people in your area. And then it's going to be even better when you have your store, because I'm sure you're going to be doing events out of there, and they can come and experience what that's like from somebody that they trust. And
Yeah.
then obviously the girls will know what do they call you, Coach Corey?
Yeah, they call me Coach Corey. Yeah.
Yeah. Do the girls, what's the age that you guys?
I do 13 to 16. Yeah.
13 to 16.
Yes.
Okay.
It's two different age groups. So it's seventh grade and ninth grade.
Oh yeah, I used to play basketball in 5th grade.
Yeah. But
In 5th
they
grade.
all know. Last year we was at an Airbnb and we're just hanging out. We rented this big Airbnb and it's like two teams and all the parents are there and we're just having like a talk with the kids and just hanging out. And of course the parents are drinking and one of the dads had his teenage son, so he was like, "What do you do? What do you do?" And then the kid was like, "So what do you do, Corey?" And then all the parents were like, "Yeah, Corey, what do you do?" And I'm like, I'm a retailer. I own a retail store." And all the parents like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah."
What kind of retail? What are you selling, Corey?
And then I was like, "You guys really want me to do this?" And it was like, "Yeah, we think you should." And but it was cool. It was cool.
That's awesome. I love
Um,
having
talking openly to the kids about it.
yeah, and you having the outside community support. That feels really good. I feel like it really aligns you with what you're doing and gives you that extra gas to just keep pushing. Having the community behind you at the same time, still being able to give back to the youth. Thank you for sharing kind of the personal side of your story and a little bit about the dispensary. Let's talk a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey. I did notice as well that you went to Amsterdam University.
Yeah, the state of New Jersey, they approved about 20 of us dispensary owners, and they part of the NJEDA program where they gave us grants. But part of the grant, we had to go to that university and take a course on cannabis, and yeah, it was an online course, but we had to
Is it
pass that course in order to get the grant from the state.
okay? Okay. Is this Amsterdam, like Oakland out here in California?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The teachers that they were students or people that graduated from there. It was a cool course. It was a little bit too late to me and a few other people that I know that are ahead of me. We was like, all right, we're here, but we already know this. We was halfway into starting our paperwork, and some of them was like opening next month already. So, but it was guidelines that we had to do. But it was still cool learning.
To get a grant at the same time, right?
Yeah, yeah. You had
Yeah.
to satisfy that course and pass with the 80% in order to get the grant. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm aware of who they are, and the university working with Emerald Cup. They are doing all types of different programs internationally. So I think it's really cool that it gives you guys, certificates, and then at the same time, help you guys with grants.
Right.
You've always kind of, it seems like you've always had an entrepreneurial mindset. Is that always like even before your teens? Like, I don't know. Like
Yeah,
I
as
was
a kid,
trying to sell, candy at school. You buy it, you get it from home, and then you go try to flip it at school.
I got it.
Not eat your lunch.
I had it so bad. I don't know if you remember when schools used to send you home with that candy packet, like that list where you had to go around and sell the candy and then
Yeah.
get people to do the orders. I used to do that and then keep the money and then go buy the candy myself somehow. And but I was just doing it in my neighborhood till the word got out, and then a lot of people in the neighborhood went to my mom. My mom's like, "We owe all these people money." I was like, "Mom, no, we don't. I just got to like I was fulfilling orders, but I was a kid. I had to sneak
We
and
were
get to
just
the
moving
store.
things around. Yeah.
Yeah, and but I wasn't. I got in trouble. I was probably. I think this was about fifth grade. I wasn't giving them the candy they ordered. I was giving them the candy that I wanted to give them, but I was giving them candy. Like I was showing
You
up.
still got candy. Yeah.
I was always addicted to money. And then, of course,
Okay.
snow days, I was going shoveling snow, bagging
Oh,
groceries. I
snow
always
days.
had a thing just wanting to make money. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's an addiction.
Did you know that your personality was more tailored for an entrepreneur life versus working for somebody?
Yeah,
Or can you
yeah.
do both?
I have, I have an older sister. She's 3 years older than me, but with basketball and the stuff that I always did, I always like it was like at the top. I always like did my best, or like one of the best at it. So she's always said like you don't work for nobody. That's not for you. Like you're better than that. And
Oh, I
she
love
kind
that.
of just gave me that mindset. Even though she worked for someone, but she was like, no, like that's not for you. You supposed to have been doing this, but it's a reason why you didn't make it playing basketball because you're supposed to do this. You're not doing that. And I just kept that vibe. Like I had a job, my first job that I ever had, I had for 10 years, and that was the last job I had.
Okay. Was that the smoke shop that you were part of?
No, that's the printing press that I told you I worked on when I made
Oh,
the perfume
okay.
samples. Yeah.
Yeah.
But other
Okay.
than that, it was stores working for my friend, which that turned to a partnership, and then it was 3 stores. And yeah, he
Yeah.
passed away, and then I've kind of just took over that store, and kind of that's why part of this I'm doing for him too, because he wasn't here to see like the legalization of cannabis.
Yeah, I hear that quite often in this space. There's this. It's been a long fight for a really long time. It's crazy to even see where it's at now. Um, and I also noticed on your Instagram page you had. I dug deep, so you're probably like, What did you
No
just
problem. That's what it's there for. It's open.
50 Cent, I saw you had, I want to say it was just an image of him, but one of his quotes. Are you a fan of his? He's an amazing
Yeah, I'm a big
entrepreneur
fan of
and
his.
businessman. Okay.
Yeah.
So am I.
Yeah,
Have
I'm
you
a
read
I'm a
his
big
book?
fan for him to be a businessman than a rapper.
I think we all know that. Yeah, that was very short lived. I still like his music though, I will say. Nothing hits like some
Me
good
too.
50 for a gym sesh. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a major hip hop head. I'll never get it out of me. But I'm a fan of his as well. And I think I got deeper into being his fan as far as his business journey. And I didn't really know this till I started reading and I came across his book. Have you read his book, The 50th Law?
No, I haven't read it yet.
Okay. You should read it. Great. I mean, you probably already know most of his stories, but it's like his stories written by Robert Greene, who's another amazing author. And with that in mind, I wanted to ask, as an entrepreneur, as, just a hustler in general, how do you deal with haters what do you do, or how do you deal with them? Like, what's your mindset on haters? Because he's got that mindset, and I've kind of adopted that same mindset. Are you in that same mindset as his when it comes to haters?
100%. Just kind of fuel me. I'm a very revengeful type of person. Like 50 Cent is a cancer. I'm a cancer. Like
Oh,
we
is
love hard.
he?
Yeah.
Damn, my
Um,
husband's cancer. Now you tell me, that makes
yeah.
so
We love
much sense.
hard. We're very emotional. And
Mm,
when you cross us,
mhm.
we pay you back 10 times more. Like,
So
and
below the belt, like
yeah,
cancers, my God.
yeah, we're very petty. But that's only when you hurt us because we're emotional. We love hard. Like,
It's a crab.
yeah.
That's your sign. Yeah. Okay. That's
So, unfortunately, being an entrepreneur and a business person, and sometimes your friends or the ones that's close to you become your biggest haters, and it's because of entitlement. So then it's like once you
mm,
cut them off, or like they're not pulling their own weight when you're trying to get there, get to another level. You're trying to be a tree, and they're just leaves falling out. Now they want to
mhm.
kick you back in and stuff like that, and or bring you down, and you got to pay them back just by being successful to be like, look, I told you so, but not verbally, but like just showing them, like and then a lot of times those haters, the ones that was friends, they want to coming back, wanting jobs and stuff like that, or they know that they can't even come back, like as bad as they want to. And to
Yeah.
me, that's when you really know you're successful, when your haters actually, even though they don't want to, they come and congratulate you and shake your hand, or they have no choice but to support you because they know it'll really look whack if they don't, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Facts.
and
Yep.
so it fuels me sometimes. Like haters, you need haters to keep you pushing.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I'm in the same boat. I think it keeps that little chip on our shoulder. Me being a female, sometimes I think I shouldn't be listening to so many, like rugged entrepreneurs with that mindset because I'm a female. But when I look at it from a business perspective, it's what females should think about. It's like, own it, know your worth, and don't negotiate your worth, because at the end of the day, I think even Master P says this on Breakfast Club, I think, was, I don't want no headache money. And so know who you want to do business with. And
Right.
sometimes you just gotta, just lay the rules down and not like think twice about it. And
Excuse me.
I guess be confident with yourself and your worth in
Yeah.
business. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I love 50 Cent. I think that's all the digging that I did, besides you being very involved with mayors and city councils. Is that something that you do when it comes to networking? Do you find that to be, beneficial to you being a retail owner in New Jersey? I imagine.
Yeah. Trying to get the license approved because I got approved by the state conditionally for my cannabis license in 2022. So once you get approved by the state, you still got to get approved by the municipality. So went to try to get
Mm,
approved by the municipality, things were like a standstill. Didn't get denied, but wasn't really getting no progress done. And then got hit with a little message, I should come to this party. Then it just turned into a regular thing, and I actually enjoy it
mm,
now because like I'm learning, I'm meeting people. You're around different crowds, like
yeah.
and different people with like a level I want to get to. And business is politics, politics is business. So order what I want to do in the city, I got to be friends with the city officials, and it's actually cool. Now I think 10 years from now I might want to be a city commissioner or something like that. Like,
Hey.
so
Yeah, no, you know what? I've said the same thing, that it starts with your own local community. It starts with your local city. If you can be involved and present in that, and you can start being impactful in that way, then let that kind of trickle, its way around. But it starts in your own city. So
yeah.
that's exciting. I would love to see you do that. That would be amazing for you.
Thank you.
Well, Corey, I appreciate you sharing your story, your entrepreneurship, some of your, battles that you've gone through on the personal side, all of the time and effort that you dedicate to the youth. That's all I really got. Is there any last few words for anybody that is, maybe thinking of exiting this space? Because I feel like that has been kind of the thing in the past 2 years, just because one, we've already, the market's very, very, it's fragile right now. There's a lot of different things going on. As we mentioned, the hemp ban happened. And then, a couple months later, they are saying now that it's going to be rescheduled. There's just so many different variables that business owners have to go through. And on top of, the taxes and everything that you guys have to do extra from a normal, typical business, is there anything that you would say to them if they are planning to leave the space?
I would say think hard about it. Don't leave the space if this is something that you really had in your heart you wanted to do and you really wanted to do it, unless you were just doing it for financial reasons. But if this was like what you really wanted to do for other reasons, including financial, don't give up. Try to merge with other people that's like you. Don't be scared to kind of network and look for the other people outside your circle. Unfortunately, in the cannabis industry, people don't. It's a lot that want to work with each other. And there's a lot that frown their nose up and kind of don't want to help you. But find those hidden stones of people that's like you that maybe you can merge together. And that's what I want to do eventually once I open, and I want to franchise out and go around to different communities around America, mainly in urban communities, and find those intelligent former legal dealers or black market dealers, or those people that's trying to convert over, or either try to convince them to convert over before this whole change that's going to be coming in the cannabis industry. And let's kind of like form together. So I would say to those, don't give up. Try to do your best to work with someone before you give up. Don't be scared to partnership. I think sometime in this industry and in the world and life, people think just because you're a partner with someone, you're not your own boss. It's all right to own 35%, 45%, even 50%. You're still your own boss. Like you can own 5% and say I'm an owner of that. Let the pride go. And
I love that.
It'll work out.
Before I let you go, though, Corey, I have a rapid fire questionnaire. It's my 7 grams. It's just 7 rapid fire questions, and then we'll wrap it up for the rest of the night. Is that cool?
That's cool.
Okay. Number 1, book or podcast for business inspiration or personal development?
Book.
Oh, I love that. Are you reading a book right now?
I'm listening to a book right now.
Oh, okay. I just got into listening to a book, which is a little different because I do like podcasts, but I was like, I guess it's kind of the same thing. And I finished the entire book already. So I can see, as far as being time efficient, how listening to a book is legit. I have to tell you, I'll send you the Robert Greene book. You should definitely read that book.
I'll check that out.
Okay. What or how, I'm sorry, coffee, cardio, or cannabis to start your day?
Coffee. Then cannabis.
And cannabis. I was just going to ask, is that with or without cannabis? Okay, cool. Same thing. Flower or edibles for performance?
Flower.
Okay. Ice bath or sauna?
Sauna.
Oh, okay. Weights or yoga?
Weights.
Yeah. All right. This is going to be a bit of a shift into the AI world, since that's kind of the world we're in. Is AI stealing jobs, or is it just making us have more time to take naps?
Stealing jobs.
Stealing jobs? Okay, that's a very interesting insight. All right. And last one, if one got leaked, which one would you prefer? Your text messages or your pictures?
Pictures.
All right, that seems to be everybody's answer, but you were quick on your feet. Thank you so much for doing that. That was so fun. I appreciate again you just spending time with us today. Before we let you go, can you tell everybody where they can find you or connect with you?
You can find me on Instagram at Legacy Leaf LLC. The name of my dispensary is Legacy Leaf. We're at 100 Market Street, North New Jersey. The downtown district of North will be opening up March 2026. Come check us out.
Ooh. All right, guys, you guys heard it first here. Make sure you guys are subscribed. I'll leave all of his information in our description. And if you guys have any question for us, make sure you guys leave it in the comments. We'll see you guys next time.